To understand Ferrari today, you have to look at the 250 GTO. It is the ultimate symbol of wealth, beauty, and speed. A car so rare that a single model can sell at auction for over $70 million. But behind the paint and the prestige is a staggering human cost. Between 1955 and 1971, 8 drivers ended up dead while operating these machines. Through every crash, Enzo Ferrari offered no public remorse. He simply returned to his factory in Maranello and demanded his engineers find ways to make the next car even faster. Every red curve and every gold badge carries the weight of that era. This is the story of how the most recognized automotive brand on Earth was built from a man's frightening, uncompromising obsession. Before he built a global empire, Enzo Ferrari was a mediocre racing driver. He won a few local events around Italy, but he lacked the skill to reach the top tier himself. That failure to secure his own legacy consumed him. During World War II, the Maranello factory stayed open by manufacturing machinery for Benito Mussolini's fascist regime. The man the world now associates with luxury spent those years building the tools of a dictator. When the war ended in 1947, Enzo founded Ferrari SPA. He only started selling road cars to the public because he needed the cash to fund his true addiction, a racing game that could finally win the races he couldn't. The global blueprint for consumer luxury was drafted by a man who actively resented having to build cars for customers. Once Scuderia Ferrari was funded, Enzo ruled it as an autocrat. He deliberately cultivated a toxic internal rivalry, psychologically pitting his own drivers against each other to see who would break first. This fear-based management extracted every ounce of performance, but it forced men to push far past the safety limits of early, volatile racing machines. The starting grid became a place of constant, lethal anxiety. Following the 1955 death of his star driver Alberto Ascari, Enzo made a calculated decision. He would never allow himself to emotionally attach to a driver again. This detachment ensured that his only loyalty remained with the brand. Maranello adopted a new, permanent hierarchy. The machine and the victory would always be more valuable than the person in the cockpit. That same cold philosophy eventually defined his relationship with his customers. In 1962, Ferrari produced only 36 units of the 250 GTO. Money wasn't enough to buy one. Enzo personally interviewed potential buyers and rejected billionaires he deemed unworthy of owning his creation. By openly displaying disdain for his own market, he proved that withholding a product is the ultimate way to create insatiable demand. In 1963, the Ford Motor Company put $10 million on the table to buy Ferrari. The deal was essentially finished, with both sides ready to sign the paperwork. At the very last second, Enzo read a clause giving Ford control over the racing budget. He walked out immediately, killing the deal over a single point of pride. Henry Ford II responded by spending millions to build the GT40, a car designed with the sole purpose of beating Ferrari at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. They succeeded, winning 4 years in a row. But while Ford was winning trophies, Enzo's engineers were building icons. This culminated in the 1987 F40, a car with no power steering or electronic aids, an exercise in pure mechanical brutality that defined performance for a generation. Enzo's refusal to compromise cost him his dominance at Le Mans, but it birthed a lineage of vehicles that became culturally immortal before his death in 1988. After Enzo passed, Ferrari shifted from the chaotic engineering of his era to a period of clinical, high-tech precision. This evolution peaked with Michael Schumacher, who led Ferrari to 5 consecutive world championships. For half a decade, the team achieved a level of sustained supremacy that modern motorsport has struggled to replicate. That dominance extended to the road with a new era of hypercars, the Enzo and the LaFerrari, which utilized carbon fiber and Formula One technology to push street-legal cars to their absolute limits. The founders' original mandate had fully infected the corporate DNA. Ferrari must always come first. Today, Ferrari is building the very things Enzo once swore he wouldn't. The SF90 Stradale is a 986 horsepower plug-in hybrid, And the company's first four-door SUV, the Purosangue, sold out the moment it was announced. By 2025, they will release their first fully electric vehicle. It is rumored to cost over $500,000 and features a synthetic engine sound system, because even a Ferrari with no engine refuses to be silent. This graphic shows the scale of the transition. Ferrari is pushing toward a target where electrified models account for 60% of their sales by 2026. The prancing horse has survived every mechanical revolution by adhering to a singular internal logic. Whether it is powered by 12 cylinders or a battery pack, the car remains an exercise in pure, uncompromising desirability. Which Ferrari era lives in your soul? The raw, dangerous purity of the F40, or the electrified future that Enzo could never have imagined? Tell us in the comments. The horse is listening.